In case you couldn't tell from my last video, I've been on a bit of a digital circus kick. Yeah, I know, it's kind of ironic since the show's already ended. But, yeah. Anyway, I was organizing some of my things, and I realized something a little startling. Okay, more than a little startling. Anyway, what I realized is Pomni here shares a color scheme with Snow White. Yes, that's Snow White. I know, of all people, I would have never guessed. So, because of that, I decided to doodle up a couple designs of Pomni dressed as Snow White. This one right here is based on Disney Snow White, but I wanted to incorporate Disney's design while still making it unique enough for them to not sue me or anything. Don't get me wrong, I'm not planning on making money off this. This is just for fun. The other one is based on this Snow White dress design from an old Hello Kitty anime. I would have used the one from Hello Kitty Animation Theater, but that one looked too much like Disney's design, so, yeah. If you want me to finish that Hello Kitty dress design thing, let me know in the comments. Anyway, while I was drawing this, I came up with the idea of a fanfic or a video, or I haven't really decided yet, but anyway, in this, thing, Kane organizes an adventure where all they do is put on a play of Snow White. Of course, he gives the role to Pomni because, in his own words, it just seemed right. And during the casting call, Kane's like, "Look, I can already tell none of you guys want to be the evil queen, so I'll be the evil queen. You're welcome." And of course, Bubbles the magic mirror. The only other role I figured out so far is Gummy Goo as the prince. Maybe. I also considered the 7 dwarves being all played by Gloinks or something, but then that would mean there wouldn't be any roles left for the players, the circus members, the humans, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I was thinking 5 of them could be played by the circus members, 1 of them could be Orbs Man, and there's still 1 left. Yeah, maybe you guys can help me figure that out. Anyway, Kane's about to start the first rehearsal, but then he realizes too late that the audience is already chock full of NPCs. So he rushes everyone backstage, snaps them into their costumes, and gives them their scripts. And he's like, "Just read your lines, do what the script says, and play it all by ear. Oh, and don't forget to break a leg!" Yeah, he's totally that kind of guy who would misunderstand that idiom. Finally, the play starts, and Kane's sitting on one side of the stage, and Bubbles on the other side. Kane is looking oh so magnificent in his evil queen costume, and he asks Bubble who the fairest in the land is, and Bubble's like, "Shouldn't you know the answer to that, boss?" And then Kane's like, "Bubble, we've talked about this. Your script is right there." And then Bubble's like, "Oh." And from there on out, he just reads the script in a robotic voice like a first grader doing reader's theater for the first time.
"Oh, Queen, thou art wise and clever. You're also very beautiful. However, evil queen."
And then Kane just stops him right there like, "No, Bubble, you just finished your line. Now it's my turn." "But what, Mirror? What could be wrong?" Then he gestures to Bubble and he's like,
"Sorry, Queen. You're number 2. Snow White is prettier than you."
Then the scene where the queen plots to kill Snow White by having the huntsman do it is about to come up, but then Kane realizes he made another mistake by forgetting to cast the huntsman. And then he's like, "Oh, I know what to do." Then he snaps his fingers, and then we go to the next scene of Pomni as Snow White in a field of flowers. And then this appearing guy shows up, and he's about to strike at Snow White with a knife, and then, well, you know the rest. Oh, say. And then Pomni appears to the left of the stage, when Kane's just sitting there backstage, waiting his turn, and Pomni's like,
"Kane, what the boink was that? We just skipped 3 whole pages of script."
Yeah, I kind of figured Kane would go overboard on some scenes, especially that one. And Kane's like, "Just improvise, Pomni. That's what I did." And then Pomni's like,
"Oh no, I recognize that guy. That's the royal huntsman. My stepmother, the queen, must have sent him to kill me. I better go hide before she finds me."
And then it switches to the next scene. And unfortunately, that's all I figured out so far. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed too. We're not even at the part where Snow White meets the dwarves yet. And like I said before, I'm not really sure who's gonna play those parts yet. Furthermore, I don't know if Kane should do all 3 murder attempts on Snow White or just 1. So, that's kind of why I want you guys to help me with that. So, leave your comments down below. I'll read them. And, well, you get the gist. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!